Part 3 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion finally came, and it went, and I was underwhelmed. I was expecting way more of an explosion.
I think they put everything in the trailer.
They did. A lot of it was teased, and there wasn't really any more when you watched. But we got some answers, I guess, about this blow-up fight that we'll never see on camera. But at least they were in Aspen. They were at a club. Kathy Hilton requested songs to a DJ, and the DJ told her to go back to LA or stay in LA. He didn't want to play the songs.
The guy at the Caribou Club, the big timed her.
Right. And so then they claim that Kathy Hilton called the guy some names.
Erica claims there was a slur used.
Yes. And then they were like, we got to get...
And there was an investigation, apparently.
There was an investigation, but they said...
Within Bravo.
Not unconclusive.
She said.
Yes. And after that, apparently, Kathy Hilton walked over to Kyle Richards in a fit of rage. We got to get out of here. And Kyle doesn't like the way that her sister speaks to her sometimes. And then Lisa Rinna said, we got to get Kathy out of here. I'm going to take her home. And in this car ride home, apparently, Kathy Hilton had a meltdown and
brought it into the house
and screamed her head off and
Lisa
said she was going
in her room,
take down NBC and Bravo, and she's going to take down her sister's family. And the way that Lisa
the
Rinna
other ladies on the show were just nothing.
Right. The way that Lisa Rinna described what happened doesn't live up to the crime to me. Like how Andy said to her, "You've seen a lot of things, and that's what." You mean
the like punishment, like the way that they're treating her now?
Yes. Sorry, the crime, the punishment.
The crime doesn't match the punishment.
The crime doesn't match the punishment. Yeah. The punishment doesn't match the crime.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yep. Crime punishment don't match.
It's more just like Lisa Rinna acting like that was the most insane thing she's ever seen. Now we didn't see it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But Andy Cohen was like, "You've seen a lot of stuff," which they have.
Yeah. No, Andy made a very good point. He's looking at Lisa. He's like, of all the things on this show that have been said and done, this is the craziest thing. Like, because at the end of the day, you've watched Real Housewives. Every franchise, there's multiple people, truly, who have had some kind of drunken rage moment.
Yes.
And for Lisa to say she was victimized and she's a victim of Kathy's rage, it was like that's where it was way too much. That was like the craziness. And we talked about her saying like holding it all in would give her cancer. Like it's nuts. And for her to she was like, I was terrorized by Kathy Hilton. It's like, no, you weren't. Like, she had a drunk rage screaming match, which you've definitely seen other people in your life do it sometimes. You took yourself out of the situation, by the way. You locked yourself in your room, apparently.
And also, it wasn't like Kathy was going at Lisa. It sounded like she was going at everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So the way
Kathy made it seem like she thought she was, off camera talking to a friend.
Right. And she went off, and it wasn't directed at Lisa Rinna.
By the way, let me tell you something.
But
there are some moments when Kathy was talking that I was like, there's some evil in Kathy Hilton.
Oh, for sure.
There is. That's just why both sides, it's hard. Like, I'm not so gung-ho on either side. Like, there's some flashes in Kathy Hilton where I'm like, oh God, I do not want to be on Kathy Hilton's bad side.
No, I think they're all nuts. Garcelle has her head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And we see that time and time again. I will always like Kyle Richards.
Yeah.
I think that Kyle Richards,
people
for years,
have started to really turn on Kyle.
I know.
I've been reading a lot of
comments
and stuff.
I haven't watched the full season.
Yeah.
I haven't kept up as much as I used to. But when I used to watch, I was a really big fan of Kyle Richards.
Same.
And I feel like over the years,
I don't see all the bad stuff as much as people see, but they think she's just kind of fake and manipulative.
See, I think over the years, Kyle Richards has had to answer for things from her family, from Kim, for now Kathy.
Right.
And I don't really think it's ever Kyle that's doing
right. Well, people now are like, it keeps happening. So maybe is Kyle the common denominator?
Right, but maybe she just has a fucked up family.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think deep down, and you saw it between Kathy and Kyle, even just talking about the friggin' bar they were at where Kathy thought Kyle was throwing her a surprise tasting party, and that's why she was upset at Kyle, because she built up this expectation that Kyle was throwing her this party and Kyle wasn't doing that. So Kyle's like getting upset, being like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I just, you can't win here. And so I don't know, Kathy does feel very critical of Kyle. I feel like in that moment too, when they were fighting, Kyle looked very tense. Her jaw was clenched, like she's tears in her eyes. Like it was a lot for her. And it felt like, I don't know if Kathy wanted Kyle to stand up and yell at Rinna and be like, stop it. You like no more. And even, you know, she tried to emotionally say that by saying, you know, you guys, the only people you're hurting in this is me when you keep talking about this. And it just felt like maybe Kathy wanted her to do more. But on the other hand, then, you know, Kyle wants Kathy to just fucking lay off her sometimes. And
I'm not a fan of Lisa Rinna, and I am not a fan of Erica Jane. And Kathy Hilton is also nuts. They're all nuts. That's the thing. And but I just, Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane really just have angered me the last.
No, I know, I agree. I really do think, like, I do believe what Rinna is saying as far as like there was a total outburst and all these things, but I think Kathy, it's the after. It's the social media posts, it's the keep posting about it, it's the Rinna making it about herself when like this, if
it doesn't,
you're okay,
it doesn't really have anything to do with her, because it wasn't towards her, it was around her. Like, you know, she was screaming in the same vicinity, but it wasn't at Lisa Rinna. I do believe Kathy Hilton said those things. I believe she said it. I think those would be random things to just make up. But I think that Lisa Rinna just like ran with it and, like you said, made it about herself when I don't think it was about her. And then it embarrassed Kyle and causes a fight between Kathy and Kyle. And I don't know.
Kelly Martin sent us this, our talent booker at Barcel, which was cracking me up. It was just a meme of when Kathy like pulled out her phone and tried to prove that she like did. They pulled those messages. She was like, by the way, Lisa, those messages, not here. I don't have them. and she's like, it really did feel like she got her in a moment where the meme was like, Kathy definitely thought that if she deleted the messages, it deleted from Rinna's phone too. And Rinna was like, no, Rinna pulled out her phone and gave it to Andy and was like, literally, here are the messages. Here they are. Andy was like, no, here they are. And it does feel like, just from what's been going on with Erica and the conversation towards the beginning of part 3 with more of like her legal stuff and the rant she went on Aspen too, it just feels like Andy is also very fed up with Rinna and Erica. Like, just Erica not, you know, continuing to talk about like, they're not my victims and all this stuff. She's like, they're all just, it's a lot. And I do feel like Erica has formed a very hard shell because she is trying to protect herself. And like she said to her therapist, she doesn't want to turn into this like mean, jaded person. But if it comes out to be that, you know, she's dealt with all this criticism and hate and all these things and she was not involved, and she will herself feel personally vindicated, but I feel like she'll think she won against all the people. And she just feels so harsh right now and not able to see anything outside of herself.
Yeah, and just the legal talk. Everything is in legal terms. Yeah, when she kept
an appeal.
Oh my God, when she kept saying that to Andy Cohen.
About the fucking
and
earrings.
Andy was like, we're saying the same thing. And she was like, no, we're not.
It's an appeal.
Oh my God.
And he was like, you're trying to get them back. Well, it's an appeal.
It just, I was loving that Andy was like, we're saying the same thing. He was fed up with that.
No, definitely fed up. And look, at the end of the day, it was a sad ending to see Kyle like not want to do the toast and to be upset. And Kathy definitely, the way Kathy left, she didn't seem happy. Like, if I had to guess, that's a scenario where they leave and Kathy's like, bye everyone, and then she's calling Kyle, raging all over again,
ripping her apart. Oh God.
And it makes me sad what they said about the kids. Like, it affects the kids. You know, Paris was liking a lot of comments and stuff about Kyle, and there was somebody screenshotted that Kathy had like this comment about on Instagram about Kyle like being the problem and all these things. So I don't know, it was just like, feels like there's a lot of deep-rooted issues there. And yes, it's when they bring up their children's weddings and all these things, like they want to be a part of it. And the fact that the show
so awkward
ruins all those things, it's very uncomfortable. It's like, oh, are you going to be at Farrah's wedding? I don't know. Yeah,
my family will be. I'm sure it'll be nice.
Yeah, it's like,
awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
But pretty underwhelming from what we thought it was going to be. And
yeah,
no
it did
real
feel
answers.
A little bit,
it was just
I know
what everyone thought happened.
I thought
Kathy
I was
going to
have like jaw on the floor moments, but it did feel like they just they created one of the best trailers for a reunion ever created.
They did, and we all tuned in,
and we did, and I'm very interested to see what decisions they make with Beverly Hills. There's rumors that Rinna might not be coming back, that Dorit might be demoted. Like there's rumors about everybody at this point. So it'll be interesting to see if they change. Diana's definitely not coming back, but it's if they make any switches or firings.
Yeah.
If they really put Rinna on pause. I don't know. We'll see.